Joining me now is royal commentator and host of the To Die For Daily podcast, Kinsey Schofield. Kinsey, let's start with some breaking news on the Sussexes. Tell me what Harry and Meghan's next big move is going to be.
That's right. This is coming straight from TMZ today that Harry and Meghan are looking at real estate closer within Los Angeles County, within LA. They want to move south from Montecito, according to TMZ. Rita, I don't know if you've read some of these reports that Meghan has been staying in hotels by William Morris Endeavor quite a bit lately. There have been some appearances on Twitter, people grabbing selfies with Meghan outside of hotels, but a lot of rumors circulating because Meghan was spending so much time in the city. So it looks like maybe they've broken down and said, let's just, move to paparazzi-ville. These are two people that stress that they need more privacy, yet would be heading to the celebrity photography capital of the world.
It would be quite hilarious if, let's go back a couple of years and the whole reason for moving away from the royals, from London, from public service was to live private lives, to just live like ordinary people away from the media glare. And then you end up in what, LA? That makes perfect sense. Now, talking about the Sussexes, their unofficial mouthpiece, Omid Scobie's upcoming book Endgame is going to make all sorts of headlines. It's going to be launched today. This royal tell-all has resurfaced old allegations regarding a royal family member's comments about the potential skin colour of Harry and Meghan's son Archie. It's now alleged there was not one but two royals who made remarks about Archie's skin colour. Remember that famous Oprah interview when those allegations were aired, and they were presented as something that was racist, Kinsey. It wasn't just a family member wondering what happens when a ginger and someone who's mixed race has a child. What will the child look like? Who will they more resemble? This is sort of discussions every normal family has, but apparently it had racist overtones.
Right. Remember Chris Rock did that scathing set where he went after Meghan Markle and said everybody that is in a mixed race family has this discussion. But you're right. Omid Scobie claims that Meghan Markle wrote to a then Prince Charles accusing two people of broadcasting concerns over her son's skin tone. Reports are that it might not be a member of the family, but just might be a member of the royal household, someone within the fold that made these racially insensitive comments. Neither individual is named in Scobie's book. He claims he knows who they are, but he says he's not revealing them because he's fearful of litigation. I just want to remind you that Tom Bauer did reveal an individual in his book Revenge and the circumstances. So obviously that journalist wasn't fearful of litigation. And I also would like to stress that Omid has been very particular about who he sits down with, taking a note out of the Harry and Meghan playbook, only going to Sussex sympathetic media for sit-downs in regards to this book. So he doesn't have anyone challenging him. Rita, if you are going to accuse someone of racism, then you should have the gonads to sit in front of a real journalist and be challenged on who are you talking about, what were the circumstances, and why is it your position to put that out there? What are you trying to accomplish?
Because it is such a harsh allegation to be making, to be saying someone here is racist. There's, like you said, a massive difference between someone who's racist, who perhaps doesn't want this child to have a dark complexion, than someone who's just a family member or within the circle who is wondering out loud, I wonder what this firstborn is going to look like. Who is he going to more closely resemble, given the parents are so different, which is in no way racist. It's all about the intention, the motivation, where it's coming from, and that certainly wasn't really explained during that Oprah interview either. Now, this book is also going to allege that amid the Queen's declining health, Prince Harry's attempts to reach out to Prince William were met with silence. Supposedly, Harry was totally ignored by his older brother as he tried to see his dying grandmother. Harry's unanswered attempts prompted him to book a $30,000 private plane to Scotland, Kinsey. No one's going to be too surprised that Omid's book is told from the Sussexes' perspective, but the venom here is something to behold. What really happened during the Queen's final days, that's going to be of enormous interest to millions of Brits and royal watchers around the world. What more can you tell us about Harry and Meghan's version of events, which is what we're presuming Omid Scobie is writing in his book?
Right. Hashtag tacky, because you're right. Like what happened within those last few days and hours is, most would consider sacred. Those are the stories you want to keep within the family. What I actually think is happening here, Rita, is Omid has been open about the fact that he believes Prince William has cut off his access to members of the royal family that are still working within the royal family. What we're seeing is someone that has nothing to lose. So Omid is going full steam at Prince William. Why? Because Prince William cutting off Omid's access has limited Omid's, professional opportunities. Omid has gone through multiple jobs since Harry and Meghan left for America, and he is going after Prince William in this book. That is his main target. He says that Prince William was ignoring Harry's calls leading up to the hours of the Queen's death. I'm sorry, that's called consequences for being a jerk and bad-mouthing his wife on television. But a few paragraphs before that, Omid says that Harry doesn't answer calls from unknown numbers. So how do we know that William didn't call his brother from an unknown number to arrange travel with him? But what I think we're seeing here is a very unhappy Omid Scobie realizing that his professional opportunities are limited. So he's throwing everything he can at this book because he doesn't know what the future holds for him because he chose the opposition.
Well, yes, and we saw the damage Harry's own book did to his relationship with the royals, and you wonder whether this book, though he hasn't penned it, is going to cause further irreparable damage between Harry and the rest of his family, because wrongly or rightly, they're going to look at this attack against Prince William as coming from Harry or coming from Harry's camp.
You're absolutely right. And while Omid says that he is not communicating with Meghan directly, he does admit that that he has friends in common with Meghan. And so, how is that any different than claiming William works with the media through a third party if you are working with someone in Meghan's camp? It's hypocrisy. It's the exact same thing.
Now, finally, Kinsey, Gigi Hadid is being accused of anti-Semitism and of promoting dangerous falsehoods about Israel. She has reposted a video to her millions of followers on Instagram alleging Israel harvests the organs of Palestinians. The supermodel posted this video, which makes all sorts of allegations, including the organ harvesting. She's the face of major brands. Are there going to be, consequences? Will there be any fallout for her?
Unfortunately, Rita, I think that if your job is to get, paid a lot of money to be half naked, you get away with a lot of stuff. I mean, no one has ever claimed that this woman is necessarily bright. But in this particular instance, it's kind of appalling to put out such falsehoods to nearly 80 million people. Remember, she also said within this specific post that Israel was the only country that held minors, and it was a war crime when the individual she was talking about had stabbed 3 people, attempted to murder them. Maybe that person did belong in jail. So I think that this is another Nepo baby that needs to know her place and understand when it's not the right time to chime in. And if you are going to chime in, do your research, investigate, and know that what you're putting out into your nearly 80 million followers is the truth and is not a crazy conspiracy theory. I mean, it could do so much harm, Rita.
Oh, I'm sure it will, because sadly we do have a whole generation that gets its news from Instagram or TikTok, and they do listen to people like Gigi Hadid. And I wonder if she was the reason why Kylie Jenner deleted that post standing with Israel. Remember, right after October 7, she posted a story and then deleted it. And you wonder, why would you delete something as positive as I stand with Israel? But then she is friends with the Hadids, and I'm sure they would have been amongst those who would have been critical of her. Kinsey Schofield, always a pleasure. Thanks for your time today.
Thank you.